Please play our game, we're lonely.
Hey, what a coincidence. I'm also lonely.
And I like playing games.
Who are you?
Hello.
Who is he?
He's annoying is who he is.
Hey, don't be mean. I just express myself more than you.
Oh, I'll show you self-expression.
Oi! Alright. So I don't know who he is, and you don't seem to like him very much, but can y'all just shut up and let this go on?
Fine.
I'm gonna play with Legos.
I'm gonna bash my head out on the concrete floor.
And I'm going to get on with this.
It's Nerf or nothing!
Nerf FPS is exactly what you'd expect. It's Nerf. It's an FPS. It's in Roblox. Now, a lot of you are probably thinking I've lost my mind. And, well, I have. But something people often overlook is that while Roblox is a wasteland of memes, jank, and the worst, most annoying, irritating, obnoxious people to ever walk this earth, children, there's some genuine talent buried underneath it all. And thesis reveal, this game is one of them. The first thing you're likely to notice about Nerf FPS is that the Nerf blasters actually function like Nerf blasters, with substantial bullet drop and sights that more often than not tend to hurt your accuracy. Now, I only got like a 71 in physics, so I have no idea how accurate the trajectories are to real life, but they're enough to alter the way you play without making the darts feel like they're made from bricks. Every weapon having drop-off means that rather than relying on a weapon's base accuracy in ADS, you can be reasonably sure weapons will have a consistent spread, and instead you need to gauge your trajectory to hit your shots. This is 1, a cool bit of design, and 2, a genuinely unique selling point that makes this game fundamentally different from other shooters on the market. This is complemented by a weapon roster that spans over a decade of Nerf's history and includes a wide variety of weapon types, which is cool, but this roster is bogged down by a meta that's weird. Nerf blasters in real life are unbalanced. A recon is worse than a retaliator is worse than a strife is worse than a nemesis. Within the context of Nerf, it makes sense that feature creep exists. In the context of game balancing, however, it leaves a lot of the weapons unused by the majority of players. Weapons are always a one-shot kill, which is perfect because it's accurate to how most people play Nerf and it makes the dart the great equalizer. But the problem this creates is that the spring action weapons are almost never used once you unlock a semi or auto weapon, just like in real life. So they're low-level items to use until you get something better, right? Well, this one is unlocked at level 110, so there's clearly some intent to make them used in high-level play. But when every gun is capable of crazy long-range shots if you just aim the trajectories right, it feels like the spring weapons are somewhat vestigial. It's like Ratatouille mixed with Animal Farm. Anyone can cross-map, but some cross-maps are more equal than others.
What the hell is that analogy?
I don't know.
Have you been hitting talkies again?
Like 2 pounds worth.
Oh, and there's also the Kronos, a 5-shot spring pistol that has no dart drop-off and is a secondary, making the use of a primary weapon with similar stats unnecessary. However, I do have to mention that, as I've been working on this review, this is being mitigated in a very interesting way: shotguns as secondaries. Shotguns are niche weapons, and introducing them to the meta has presented an alternative to the Kronos. These weapons themselves can be a bit hit or miss, but they're presenting a greater overall variety to the meta. And even with the problems in the weapon selection, there's still a lot of weapons to choose from, so even though spring weapons are underpowered, you still have a variety of semi and auto weapons, and the weapons feel nice across the board. It would be nice to see the spring blasters balanced to be more common with higher levels, but overall the weapon roster is good, certainly better than any official Nerf game.
But none of us have played the official Nerf games. How can we know they're not good?
Well, come on. The games didn't really review that well, and putting aside the peripheral, it really doesn't look like these games are all that good.
So you're bashing the game without having played it. Some critic you are.
Did I say I would never play it? If my opinion has changed, that's okay.
This is literally the habit you're trying to stop doing. Rely on your own damn experiences.
I played Time Crisis before. That was pretty good.
See? Time Crisis is a good arcade shooter, and one that I have played. So thusly, I can assume that these Nerf games, which are also arcade shooters, which haven't been reviewed as well, is not something I would like as much.
You both are utterly hopeless.
My friends say I'm too hopeful.
You two are among the most unpleasant people I've ever been in a room with.
Why isn't SMG scrub like you even going to bat for the spring weapons? You can't even snipe.
What do houses on HGTV and these maps have in common? Open concept, and the same design repeated ad nauseum. Maps feel very unrestricted, and give you the freedom to go from point A to point B with pretty much no obstacles. This can be partly attributed to the old Roblox maps, but it's also a result of good level design. There's enough cover to prevent most no man's lands, but not so much that the overall design is cramped. They work exceptionally well for the type of combat that you're dealing with. These maps would be abysmal with weapons from, say, Gary's mod, but using dodgeable projectile weapons with bullet drop works well. Maps also work aesthetically. You're fighting in summer camps, forests, gyms, houses, and laser tag arenas. And Nuketown. And Dust. These things all combine to make a game that's grounded in the familiar but takes several steps to be an innovative experience. And it gives me very happy good feeling about when I used to do the Nerf Guns games with my friends. And speaking of things I did as a child, I should mention the audience this game has. Here's something to keep in mind. I'm not bad at shooters. I'm terrible at shooters. I'm bad at shooters. I'm not bad at this. My initial thought was that I was constantly playing with a bunch of grade school children using old library computers that still run Windows 7. Then I remembered that we live in a global pandemic, and parents with common sense will keep their kids home to play on their school-issued Chromebook once you've bypassed the restrictions, which is about as easy to do as acquire a whiteout Spectre. And I hope you all Nerf fans in the audience appreciate that joke because I had to research that for a bit. But basically what I discovered was that there's mobile and Xbox support for this game, which is really cool. There's a trade-off to that though. Mobile games and console games with crossplay tend to create a bit of an unfair scenario, as PC players will have the advantage. There's these old Nerf advertisements where a blonde kid with way too much confidence shows off how cool the new Nerf blasters are and how they're the key to winning, and he does this by demolishing every other kid in the advertisement. That's what playing on PC feels like.
And the weather for today will be...
Not thunderstorm, not hailstorm, not desert storm, Nerf barrel storm. With a rapid-firing, semi-automatic rotating turret. That means 6 arrows. No waiting. And that's what I call service. Hey, if you don't have the Nerf barrel storm, you're just a target. Don't you get it? It's Nerf or nothing.
It's really fun.
So, how do you wrap up these videos?
He's not done yet.
I'm not?
Game modes.
Ah, yes.
Game modes. Team Deathmatch. It's good. Free-for-all. It's also good, but there really needs to be spawn protection. You can spawn camp way too easily. Domination. Some of these capture points are a little weird and are either out of the way or in an unbalanced position. Good mode, but it needs a bit of work. Gun game. For some reason everyone hates this mode, including the developers.
The game modes are fun?
I don't get why. Gun game is a fun mode, and it's fun here too. The one thing that's slightly odd is that if you get a double tag really quickly, you can skip a rank and go up 2 weapons. That's not even that much of an issue for me. I just enjoy this mode. Humans vs. Zombies. This is a lot like Infection mode from Call of Duty, and it's a really fun time. It gets significantly more desperate as the clock runs down, with humans fighting for a massive XP reward, and zombies fighting to give the reward to everyone. It feels almost like the World War Z movie, and while I find that movie to be rubbish, it does make for very exciting gameplay. Old zombies. Yeah, this is pretty unpolished. I kind of like it though, for stuff like the ability to stand on top of the hordes and straight up purchase a real gun on the final tiers. Conclusion.
Nerf FPS is a good concept that's well executed and is a lot of fun to play. I have my phone with me because I need to read the script. The weapons, maps, and game modes are all familiar to shooter fans and Nerf fans, but they're a breath of fresh air on the current market. I really can't read. It's nostalgic in a good way, being reminiscent of older shooters and Nerf wars without being a retread of either. This game is a fun time and it's still being supported, so I'm excited to see where it goes.
So, that's it?
Yeah, he can't wrap videos up.
Look, I know I'm not very good at this. I really can't read. I'm not going to be able to wrap up a video poignantly if I can't wrap up a video at all.
Keep telling yourself that.
You know, you're being really mean.
I will rip out your spine and shove it down your throat.
Oh my god, can you please both just shut up? I just want some peace and quiet to work on this.
Hey, remember that really old thing you used to enjoy as a kid, but now you absolutely hate thinking about it?
8 times. Mud.
Ballistic balls.